He taught me, all the mathematical tables. And by the time I got into 3rd grade, the teacher said, she's just passed all the standardized tests up to 12th grade.
Sunny Hostin recently broke down under the crushing weight of a high-profile defamation lawsuit, revealing a raw vulnerability rarely seen by the public. The pressure of legal threats and courtroom drama shattered her unflinching public persona, leaving fans stunned and desperate for answers. We dive into that intense moment when Sunny's composure finally cracked, exploring the emotional toll and the shocking implications of her breakdown. Once the flagship of daytime television, this program was more than a mere talk show. It evolved into a cultural phenomenon that resonated across generations. For decades, viewers would tune in every morning, anticipating passionate discussions, unfiltered opinions, and an atmosphere of camaraderie among a diverse panel of hosts. The show wasn't just entertainment, it was a ritual that symbolized the power of conversation to bridge societal divides, to challenge conventional norms, and to captivate audiences on an epic scale. Behind the charismatic smiles and the lively debates, however, there were subtle undercurrents at play that eventually foreshadowed the show's downfall.
I heard you coming on the show, and I was like, yeah, I'm joining the show. She was like, did they give you car stipend? I was like, no. Did they give you this? I was like, no. I was like, let me get my deal sheet out. And you basically went over your salary.
At its peak, the program represented the best of what daytime television could offer, a blend of humor, wit, controversy, and heartfelt discussion that connected with viewers in their homes. It brought together voices from varying backgrounds, sparking conversations that ranged from the lighthearted to the deeply provocative. Yet beneath this successful veneer of daily enjoyment, something was brewing in the shadows. There was a sense of growing tension, a reaction to the increasingly bold stances taken by the hosts, and the unpredictable nature of live television that would soon converge to become its undoing. The turning point came with one singular, provocative moment that ignited a firestorm of controversy. A particularly sharp critique delivered by one of its most outspoken hosts, Sunny Hostin, about a high-profile public figure marked the moment when the show walked a dangerous line. Sunny's comments, while initially seen by some as a powerful exercise in free speech, tipped the delicate balance between bold commentary and defamation. What began as a segment lauded by a portion of the audience for its candor and fearlessness swiftly turned into a lightning rod for rumors and legal threats. Behind the cameras, the production team whispered in hushed tones, grappling with a sudden, unsettling realization. The lines between mere opinion and legally actionable accusation had blurred dangerously. As the ripple of controversy spread, those behind the scenes could sense an atmosphere thick with unease. In the control room, staff members exchanged uneasy glances and furtive whispers. The familiar buzz of confident banter had given way to a quiet dread. Every word uttered on air now carried the potential for a legal misstep. The once comfortable environment where bold debates had flourished was now tinged with tension. The show's team, which had prided themselves on their provocative yet seemingly safe commentary, was forced to reckon with the slim margin between engaging conversation and crossing into legally perilous territory. Sunny Hostin, at the epicenter of this storm, found herself in uncharted territory. Known for her assertive and fearless style, she had carved out a persona of someone who never shied away from speaking truth to power. For years, her unrestrained opinions had become a signature of the show, propelling discussions that mattered to many viewers. Yet now, as the repercussions of her sharp words began to mount, Sunny's confident facade started to crack. Legal threats began to accumulate, and the possibility of a defamation lawsuit loomed ominously over her career. The weight of potentially facing a high-stakes legal battle, the threat of losing her cherished job, and the profound impact these issues could have on her personal life started to take a visible toll. Behind closed doors, those close to Sunny could see a side of her that was rarely exposed to the public eye, a side fraught with uncertainty and emotional strain. The steely, unflappable demeanor that had characterized her on-air presence gave way to moments of introspection, doubt, and visible anxiety. Friends, family, and even some colleagues recounted how Sunny seemed more contemplative, burdened by the realization that her passionate pursuit of truth and accountability might come with unintended personal costs. This humanized version of Sunny contrasted sharply with the confident, outspoken. As the specter of a lawsuit materialized, its effects began to ripple far beyond the immediate chaos within the studio. Financial stability for the show began to tremble as major advertisers, who once saw the program as a staple of their marketing strategy, started to withdraw their support. Sponsorship deals, which had seemed secure just weeks before, were suddenly under threat. A leading automotive brand quietly suspended its sponsorship, not wanting to be associated with the controversy or caught in the crossfire of a prolonged legal battle. As news of this decision spread, other sponsors followed suit, each taking steps to distance themselves from the uncertainty and potential negative publicity. This exodus of sponsors signified a dangerous tipping point. When financial backers begin to pull out en masse, even the most beloved and seemingly invincible programs can face existential threats. The retreat of sponsors not only affected the show's immediate revenue stream, but also sent a chilling message to network executives. The financial future of the program was now in jeopardy. This development forced those at the top to confront a harsh reality. What once was a thriving platform, attracting top dollars and wide viewership, was now teetering on the brink of collapse. Within the network, executives found themselves navigating a mounting dilemma. They were juggling complex legal strategies while trying to address the very human stories unfolding on set. Boardroom discussions became fraught with tension as decision-makers sought to balance the need for a strategic response against the personal fears and uncertainties of the staff. It wasn't just a matter of contract negotiations or legal defenses, it was about the livelihoods of hundreds of people who had dedicated years to building the show. The network's leadership could sense the desperation and confusion among employees, who were increasingly looking for reassurance that their future was secure. Amid these hushed discussions and tentative reassurances, a fateful decision emerged. In an attempt to stabilize the situation and perhaps find a pathway through the legal minefield, the network announced that the show would go on an indefinite hiatus. The announcement was sudden, catching employees, industry watchers, and fans off guard. It was as though the rug had been pulled from under everyone's feet. Staffers scrambled to pack their personal belongings, many in quiet desperation, while the public was left grappling with a multitude of questions. What would happen to their favorite show? Could it survive the storm that was raging behind the scenes? The answers were nowhere in sight. Sunny Hostin's absence from what turned out to be the final broadcast became a poignant symbol of the turmoil. Her absence was not due to choice, but was a stark reminder of the personal toll the crisis had taken. The studio, once filled with laughter, impassioned debates, and a palpable sense of purpose, now stood eerily silent. The familiar set lights that had illuminated many morning routines dimmed, leaving behind an atmosphere of emptiness. Mechu, this silence was more than just the absence of voices. It signified the end of an era, a bittersweet conclusion to a story that had captivated the nation for so long. Public reaction to the cancellation was swift and varied. Fans who had once avidly followed the show were left reeling. Some expressed disbelief and outrage, rallying behind Sunny Hostin, insisting that her unfiltered style was a vital part of what made the program so compelling. Others, however, were critical, condemning her role in the unfolding tragedy and arguing that her controversial comment was the spark that set off the chain of events leading to the show's demise. The debate quickly evolved into a broader discussion about the state of free speech in the media. Where should the line be drawn between unfiltered expression and reckless commentary? How far can one push bold opinions before they cross into dangerous territory, risking not only their own career, but also the future of the institutions they represent? Critics and commentators debated whether the downfall of the show was solely the result of one person's reckless stance, or if it pointed to a deeper, systemic issue within the media landscape. They questioned the structural vulnerabilities that allowed a single misstep to have such catastrophic consequences. Some argued that the industry as a whole needed to adopt more stringent safeguards and legal guidance to protect both the freedom of expression and the financial stability of its shows. The discussion was not just about one host or one incident. It was about the fragile intersection of media, law, and public discourse in an era where every statement could trigger a legal battle. In the aftermath of the cancellation, the national conversation turned reflective. What did this mean for the legacy of daytime television, and what lessons could be learned from this dramatic fall from grace? The cancellation wasn't merely about a single lawsuit or a lost career. It served as a cautionary tale about the fragility of public discourse in a time when legal threats can swiftly silence even the most resilient voices. Industry insiders began to speculate about whether a show like this could ever return in any form. Some pondered the possibility that The View might re-emerge under a new guise, perhaps with a rotating roster of hosts to mitigate the risks of a single voice overshadowing the collective. Others suggested a more cautious approach to contentious subjects, learning from past mistakes to avoid the pitfalls of provocative commentary without factual backing. However, with the details of any potential comeback unclear, an air of uncertainty lingered. At its core, the story of the show's demise and Sunny Hostin's journey remains deeply human. It's a story of ambition, vulnerability, and the harsh reality that speaking too boldly in a crowded arena can bring unintended consequences. The narrative moves beyond mere scandal and legal drama. It invites us to consider the personal costs behind every controversial moment on live television. Behind every heated debate and every rumor of legal action, there were real people grappling with the repercussions of their actions, the crushing burden of expectations, and the fragile nature of their own reputations in the ever-watchful public eye. Today, the remnants of what once was a powerful forum for conversation linger like echoes of voices that once filled living rooms across the nation. The empty set, the silent microphones, and the absence of familiar faces serve as poignant reminders of the cost of pushing boundaries without a corresponding measure of caution. The imagery of deserted chairs on a darkened studio stage speaks volumes. A once vibrant arena now abandoned, a testament to the fragility of fame and the unpredictability of public favor. As debates continue on the balance between free speech and responsible commentary, Sunny Hostin's experience resonates as both a cautionary tale and a rallying cry for a more thoughtful, measured discourse in the media. This story raises crucial questions about the future of bold commentary in an environment where every word might carry legal weight. As society grapples with finding the line between free expression and defamation, the lessons learned from this saga offer both warnings and guidance. The complex interplay of media power, public accountability, and legal boundaries will continue to shape how public figures communicate. The uncertainty surrounding what lies ahead underscores a fundamental truth. In a world where the consequences of speech can be far-reaching, the balance between courage and caution becomes ever more precarious. Looking ahead, what does the future hold for those who dare to speak boldly? The answer remains shrouded in mystery, much like the aura that once surrounded the show's legendary debates. Will there be a resurgence of fearless commentary on the same scale, or has the era of unchecked, outspoken dialogue come to an end? The legacy of this daytime titan, along with Sunny Hostin's indelible mark on television history, will undoubtedly continue to spark conversations about the limits of free expression, the responsibilities of public figures, and the delicate dance between courage and caution under the relentless spotlight of the media. As this chapter closes, the echoes of that era persist in the memories of viewers and the annals of television history. The story serves as a reminder that while pushing boundaries can lead to incredible impact and cultural change, it also comes with risks that can swiftly reshape lives and institutions. The tale of Sunny Hostin and the beloved show remains a poignant case study, a narrative about how quickly reputations can be tarnished, how shows can be canceled in a whirlwind of controversy, and how the human cost behind every headline is often profound and enduring.